programs offer many languages. Please visit SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule. Have you ever wondered who invented the word vegan and who the philosophical forerunners of the first vegetarian societies in the world were? Continue watching to find out more.
Hello, honorable viewers. Welcome to the final episode of our 4-part series entitled A History of Veganism, Part 4 of 4, Advent of the Vegan Movement. I am Ting Ting from majestic China. Our people pray sincerely for your optimal health and spiritual elevation through the adoption of a vegan lifestyle. In previous episodes, we learned that the cornerstone of major spiritual faiths and philosophies of the world is benevolence toward all beings, including our animal co-inhabitants. The concept of animal rights, however, was not treated explicitly until respected English philosopher Henry Salt published his 1894 classic, Animals' Rights, Considered in Relation to Social Progress, in which the erudite social reformer expressed his hope for an end to animal mistreatment.
Oppression and cruelty are invariably founded on a lack of imaginative sympathy. The tyrant or tormentor can have no true sense of kinship with the victim of his injustice. When once the sense of affinity is awakened, the knell of tyranny is sounded, and the ultimate concession of rights is simply a matter of time. Henry Stephen Salt, vegetarian.
Henry Salt was about a century ahead of his time. The issue of animal rights only received widespread media attention in 1975 when eminent moral philosopher Peter Singer's book, Animal Liberation, sold over 500,000 copies, alerting the public to the abominable conditions on factory farms. Salt's book and essays, A Plea for Vegetarianism, however, inspired many formative vegetarians around the world to take a stance for the animals, including the venerated nonviolence activist Mahatma Gandhi.
I hold that the more helpless a creature, the more entitled it is to protection by man from the cruelty of man. Mahatma Gandhiji, vegetarian.
Another famous person to voice his concern over our treatment of animals was Irish playwright and political activist George Bernard Shaw, who summed up his feelings succinctly.
Animals are my friends, and I don't eat my friends. George Bernard Shaw, vegetarian.
Also instrumental in the evolution of vegetarianism were the theologians and seers of the mid-modern era, 1750 to 1945. Among them are Ellen White, co-founder of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, John Wesley, founder of the Methodist Church, His Holiness Abdul-Baha, one of the leaders of the Baha'i faith, Annie Besant, the charismatic theosophist orator and writer, and Nobel Peace Prize laureate Albert Schweitzer, who stated in his book entitled The Teaching of Reverence for Life,
by ethical conduct toward all creatures, we enter into a spiritual relationship with the universe. Albert Schweitzer, vegetarian.
He also said in regards to the animals,
think occasionally of the suffering of which you spare yourself the sight. Albert Schweitzer, vegetarian.
A key figure in vegetarianism history is Swedish scientist, engineer, and Christian visionary Emanuel Swedenborg. It was his later followers who founded the world's first vegetarian society. Swedenborg taught that God is manifest in all things and that humans can free themselves from materialistic boundaries by uniting with the divine through transcendental love and wisdom attained by spiritual practice. He decried meat eating as the symbol of humankind's fall from divine grace in his major theological work, Secrets of Heaven.
Regarded in itself, eating meat is a profane custom, since people of the very earliest times never ate the flesh of any animal. Emanuel Swedenborg, vegetarian.
In the late 1700s, Swedenborg societies began to form in England. One of the most prominent proponents was Reverend William Cowherd. In 1809, he began preaching strict abstinence from meat and alcohol and established the Bible Christian Church. In 1847, Bible Christians, along with members from two other meat-free advocacy groups, convened to form the first vegetarian society in the world at Ramsgate, England, marking the beginning of vegetarianism as an organized movement. 3 years later, in 1850, one of William Cowherd's disciples, Reverend William Metcalf, who had migrated to North America earlier, founded the first vegetarian society of the United States. Dozens of countries would follow suit in the coming decades. In 1944, the first vegan society of the world was born when a non-dairy consuming member of the United Kingdom's Vegetarian Society, Donald Watson, coined the word vegan. He explained,
"The vegan believes that if we are to be true emancipators of animals, we must renounce absolutely our traditional and conceited attitude that we have the right to use them to serve our needs. We must supply these needs by other means. If the vegan ideal of non-exploitation were generally adopted, it would be the greatest peaceful revolution ever known, abolishing vast industries and establishing new ones in the better interests of men and animals alike." Donald Watson, vegan.
In the United States, American-born Indian J. Dinshaw and his wife Freya started the American Vegan Society in 1960 and worked tirelessly in the following decades to promulgate the vegan lifestyle, which helped anchor this virtuous way of life in the American public. Endearing viewers, we will be right back after some heartening messages. Please stay tuned to Supreme Master Television. Welcome back, trustworthy friends. In 1995, the UK Vegetarian Society produced the acclaimed short documentary Devour the Earth, narrated by vegetarian iconic singer-songwriter Sir Paul McCartney. In more recent times, dozens of impactful documentaries have been released, bringing widespread awareness to the heartlessness and destructiveness of animal industries, such as Forks Over Knives, Cowspiracy, What the Health, Earthlings, and Dominion. With regards to literature about veganism, John Robbins' 1987 book, Diet for a New America, was a powerful and highly popular book that specifically promoted veganism, selling over 1 million copies. Its significance is perhaps only matched by renowned biochemist Dr. T. Cullen Campbell's 2005 The China Study. Every major movement tends to have a watershed event, and for veganism, it came at the turn of the millennium when the dietitian associations of 3 advanced nations, the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, successfully affirmed that well-planned vegan diets are healthful, nutritionally adequate, safe for all stages of life, including pregnancy, and provide health benefits in the prevention and treatment of certain diseases. Further momentum came in 2006 when the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC, published its Livestock's Long Shadow Report, demonstrating that the livestock industry is responsible for 18% of human-induced global warming, more than the global transportation sector combined. The 18% figure was later revised by World Bank environmental specialists Dr. Robert Goodland and Jeff Onhang to 51%. Through her inner vision and wisdom, the world-renowned humanitarian and fully enlightened spiritual master, Supreme Master Ching Hai, has said this number should actually be much higher.
If all the people in the world became vegan, we would eliminate at least 50% of greenhouse gas emission. But I know it's more than that. Karmically speaking as well, for my calculation, for my inside knowledge, and also scientifically speaking, 80% of global warming will be stopped if we stopped the animal industry.
In a 2010 report, the United Nations Environment Programme, UNEP, acknowledged that a substantial reduction of environmental impacts would only be possible with a substantial worldwide diet change away from animal products. More recently, the UNEP identified animal industries as the world's most urgent problem that we need to address. Our use of animals as a food production technology has brought us to the verge of catastrophe, United Nations Environment Programme. Today, India is home to the largest vegetarian population of the world, where Hindus and Jains have successfully maintained a vegetarian diet, generation after generation, for thousands of years. Roughly 38% of the country, or 500 million people, are vegetarian. As for vegans, the country with the highest concentration of vegans is Israel, with 5% of its 9 million population being vegan as of 2017. Since the 1970s, vegetarianism and veganism have grown steadily around the world, and many countries are now reaching the critical 10 to 14% of their population embracing this noble way of life.
In addition, the trusted publication The Economist wrote,
2019 will be the year veganism goes mainstream, The Economist. So, what does the future hold? Dr. Andy Mars, who has studied the history of veganism extensively, believes the future is bright for the animals.
It is wrong for people to use and abuse animals in any way, shape, or form. We don't need to. We saw the definitions of veganism where it began. We saw the consciousness before then. We've seen the growth and the exponential growth since then. We're ready for a vegan world. That's where we're going. It's already becoming more and more understandable, more and more acceptable, more and more common. It will be the norm.
Treasured friends, this concludes our 4-episode series on the history of veganism. We are grateful to all the pioneers and sustainers of the vegan movement for their contributions in making our world a better place for all.
above all, we are profoundly indebted to the countless spiritual masters who have graced our world since time immemorial in order to enlighten humankind to a godly existence full of virtue and compassion. Let us for a moment ponder, where would we be without their loving guidance? One great master who walks among us today is Supreme Master Ching Hai, who in the last 30-some years has tirelessly globetrotted the world, advocating the vegan diet as the only reliable solution to the critical climate crisis we face today. She has also selflessly contributed to the world innumerable spiritual merit points, gained through her intensive communion with heaven, in order to save our planet and uplift us as a whole.
I have given up zillions of spiritual merit points for the world to become better and the people to change from inside and for world vegan, world peace. Still more I need to offer for this vision to come true. But it might come true. I have been intensifying my meditation effort.
Wow.
Still continue.
Wow.
Supreme Master Ching Hai is deeply grateful to the beloved God for all the financial help, comfort, and support to the afflicted and needy, and or any good cause over the years, as a humble vessel for His compassion and love toward His precious children.
Positive viewers, thank you for your soothing company today. Coming up next is Entering the New Universal Platform, Part 2 of 4, on Between Master and Disciples, right after Noteworthy News. We wish you the greatest happiness, love, and harmony in your lives, in the grace of the Providence.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule and SupremeMasterTV.com/VEG.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule et SupremeMasterTV.com/VEG.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule e SupremeMasterTV.com/VEG.
Nossos programas oferecem vários idiomas. Acesse SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule e SupremeMasterTV.com/VEG.
हमारे कार्यक्रम पेश किए जाते हैं कई भाषाओं में। कृपया देखें SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule और SupremeMasterTV.com/VEG。
我们的节目提供多种语言，请看 SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule 和 SupremeMasterTV.com/VEG。
Rancangan kami menawarkan banyak bahasa. Sila kunjungi SupremeMasterTV.com/kehadapan-schedule dan SupremeMasterTV.com/kehadapan-VEG.
برامجنا متوفرة بالعديد من اللغات. يرجى زيارة SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule و SupremeMasterTV.com/VEG.
Наши программы предлагают много языков. Пожалуйста, посмотрите SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule и SupremeMasterTV.com/VEG.
I nostri programmi sono offerti in molte lingue. Consultate SupremeMasterTV.com/schedule e SupremeMasterTV.com/VEG